I am running for state representative in the 64th district, which, just to be clear, includes Cornwall, Salisbury, Sharon, Kent, Norfolk, Falls Village, North Canaan, parts of Goshen, and Torrington. Salisbury. The question you get asked, of course, most often when you're running for office is, why are you doing this? And I can be asked in various tones of voice depending on the person. But for me, the short answer to that question is that I'm running for office because I listen to that voice in my head, which has been speaking to me. And it's my conscience, to be clear. To me, my conscience speaks to me in the voices of very particular people who have been meaningful to me over the course of my life. And I'm fortunate to have had a lot of them. But the lead singer in that chorus is my mother, who I lost recently. And she's singing quite loudly in my head these days. And it was my mother's voice who kicked me off the couch on November 9th, 2016. And gave me a few hours to lick my wounds after that election and said, okay, you're not happy about things, what are you going to do about it? You have a voice, raise it. You have an education, use it. You have feet, get up. So at that point in my life, I had been focused for the last decade or so raising my kids, one of whom is here tonight, and working in the nonprofit sector here. And that's for those of you, I know a lot of you in this community, including this group, have been involved in nonprofit work here. It's very satisfying work, it's very tangible work. You can see it come to life before your eyes. But this election convinced me that we needed to pick it up a level. So I'm also, before that, I worked in government myself. I worked for the Justice Department, and I had the privilege of having a job where it was my obligation to do justice. And I came out of that with a strong sense of what the government can do when it's resourced, when it's marshaled in the proper direction. Government is a tremendous power for good. And it also has an obligation to even the playing field for everyone. So those are values really important to me. But in the aftermath of 2016, November 2016, I wasn't convinced that the upper part of the federal government was committed to those values, much less to the kind of transparency, fairness, and integrity, which to me were the hallmarks of my own government service. So I decided that I didn't want to just say something, I wanted to do something, and I decided to run for state legislature. Because I think this is a moment when state legislature is more important than it has maybe ever been before. If there's dysfunction happening in Washington, there's a whole lot going on in Hartford. And if the federal government is not going to stand by its citizens and is going to shred that safety net, we're going to stand up for it in Connecticut. And at a time of budget crisis in particular, it's never more important than to have that strong values in place in Hartford when those decisions get made. So I am out there as a first-time candidate, talking to people and mostly listening to people, getting a sense for what's important to them. And I'm going to tell you one conversation that I have repeatedly, which goes something like this. I am passionate about the environment. I'm not really political. I am really worried about healthcare and whether it's going to be available to my aging parents or to my kids if they have a health crisis. But politics isn't really for me. We in this room, every one of us, by virtue of being in here, we know different. We know that is politics. Politics is a collection of issues that you feel strongly about and that you are willing to get up and do something about. Moreover, we know that all those issues and all the issues that I'm hearing about, talking to people, they reside squarely on one side of the political street. So this means not only that we have to get out and use our voices, but that we need to elect Democrats. So I think it's up to all of us to make sure we do everything we can to make sure that, the next legislature, we're not looking at a revival of the death penalty. We're not looking at gerrymandering, in the wake of the 2020 census. We're not looking at the erosion of health care, particularly comprehensive care for women and children. All of these things are under threat if we don't make sure that we get out there and participate. So, there are serious, as I said, there are serious issues in Hartford right now. There are serious budget issues, there are all kinds of issues. They're not going to be solved by a Facebook post or a press release. They're not going to be solved by ducking hard questions. We need real leadership. We need effective leadership. And another voice in my head from my mother is something that she drilled into me a lot, which is that your life is defined by the actions that you take, not the words that you say. This is why we all tell our kids to stand up for their values and to look after their peers and take care of each other. Why we're so proud of all the high school students all across the country right now who are advocating so powerfully against gun violence in our schools. It's why the eyes of those children are even more important than the voices of the people who've come before us, because they're watching us. This is an important moment in our political history, and what we do matters. So you might be asking yourself, what can you do? You can support my candidacy, which is what we do. But this is a time of action. We need, people to do things as simple as liking a post on Facebook. It seems banal, but it works. It's a good way to get the message out there. Put a bumper sticker on your car, put a lawn sign in your yard. Invite 10 friends over for coffee, some of whom you're not quite sure how they're going to vote. Talk to people, get out there and spread the word, because if we can spread this message across the district and across Connecticut, we're not only going to make a statement about our values, but we're going to bring results for this district and for the state. So thank you. If anyone's interested to join us, and I'm happy to take any questions that you have for me.